How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about my 1970 Ford Mustang convertible. This is a vehicle I bought from an older gentleman out of Arizona. He had the car for a while, and the backstory goes is he was moving across country and couldn't take the car with him, put it up for sale, and then we ended up buying it directly from him. So that's how I acquired the car. I have a good clean Marty report for it, good title, but unfortunately I don't have any other paperwork for the car. But we do have a Marty report and a clean title, which is great. As far as your mechanical and driveline options on this one, it has a period correct 302, still retains an original 2-barrel intake and carb on it. It is, excuse me, it is an F code car, so that's what this car would have originally had, as a 302 and a 2-barrel. All signs point to it being the original motor. Could not get a VIN off the back of the block, but I was able to get the casting number, and it shows that it's a period correct motor. So all signs line up to it being the original motor, and it runs absolutely fantastic. It is backed by a C4 3-speed automatic, power steering, power front disc brakes. It does have an aftermarket aluminum radiator. Then you have manifolds, aftermarket dual exhaust with aftermarket mufflers and full tailpipes. So outside of the exhaust and the aluminum radiator, it is a very stock car, and it drives just great. This is a non-AC car. The heater core is there and it's hooked up. The blower motor works, and we'll dive into the heat here in a little bit. But for me, I would personally add a vintage AC setup to the car because I would just kind of take it to the next level. Take a look at my test drive video. I'll dive into more of the mechanicals on it, how it drives. You'll see me personally driving it down the road. That test drive video is going to be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. As far as my does it work section, touching back on the heater, again, the blower motor works and it produces a good volume of air coming out of the dash. The heat, however, is not getting very hot. My guess is the heater core is probably stopped up and either needs to be pulled apart, cleaned, and reinstalled, or just simply replaced. It gets warm, but it's not getting hot. The reverse lights do not do anything. The washer fluid sprayers do not do anything. The wipers, however, do work, but you have to manually park them where you want the wipers to stop. If you stop the wipers in the middle of the windshield, that's where they're going to stop. The windows all roll up and down like they should, but the passenger side rear window needs a little bit of assistance going up and down, but it will make it up and down. Take a look at my does it work section. It is going to be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. It's going to be in multiple places. It's going to be in the additional informations tab, as well as in the photos. If you go to the very end, you'll see a screenshot of that does it work section, which outlines what works and what doesn't on the car. During my normal inspection, didn't find any current leaks. It shows well underneath. I can't predict when it's going to start dripping something, but right now it is nice and dry on the bottom. I didn't find any current seeps or any leaks of any kind. The front and rear suspension, along with some of the steering components, look like it's been recently redone. The shocks all look newer. The rear leaf springs look newer. Some of the ball joints and some of the wear items in the front suspension, along with the steering, a lot of that stuff looks like it's recently been redone, and you can clearly see that in the photos of the underneath. But we do our normal inspection and check all that stuff out, and it performs awesome. On your exterior, it is a factory-coated T red exterior Mustang. The red paint is nice. I don't know when the repaint was done. It does have some stone chips and some miscellaneous little scuffs from being driven. If I had to guess, it's probably 10, 15, maybe even a little bit older, years old on the paint, but it still has a good quality. It does just have some little road imperfections here and there. It has a white convertible top. It was originally a black convertible top, so that was changed. The top is a little older, but it is power. Goes all the way up, goes all the way down. The back glass in the top is nice. Take a look at the extra photos. It's got good photos of all the flaws. Cosmetically, the car does show nice. It's just, again, not fresh. The 14-inch polished torque thrusts have good tires, and they show well with the rest of the car. This does have the aftermarket Mach 1 style hood scoop and the aftermarket rear wing. It gives it that Mach 1 style, and I think it looks great. On your interior, similar to the top, it was originally a black interior car. Now it is a white bucket seat interior car. The seat covers are nice. The door panels, the dash, the carpet, all that stuff shows well. Does have an aftermarket retro style AM, FM, and then I believe auxiliary, I'll have to check, and then a CD changer in the trunk. The stereo works. I don't, however, know if the CD changer works because I don't have any CDs to put in there, but the stereo itself does come on and play sound. I will say the seat foam on the driver's seat when you first sit in it, it is broken down just a little bit, but it's still very comfortable. I'm kind of nitpicking there. It is a comfortable car to drive. You're not sitting all the way through the seat. Just a little bit of seat foam that's broken down. And then your steering wheel has a few little like hairline cracks around the steering wheel, which again, really common, especially for a car coming from Arizona. They get a little bit of sun fade. And those steering wheels and those plastics, they kind of crack a little bit. But again, really nitpicky stuff. Overall, the interior is very, very clean. And the coat originally, like I mentioned before, was BA for black, and now it is white with the white top. Engine bay, outside of the aluminum radiator, it's all stock and it shows great. Just a good, clean, original engine bay, and it shows well. The underneath is very solid. The front floor pans, the rear floor pans, the frame rails, all that stuff shows excellent. Really indicative, again, of a good West Coast car, very dry underneath. The only spot that I found is both of the inner quarter drop downs on the inside of the quarter, that flat piece of metal behind the tires. There's a small little spot that's been repaired on both sides. Again, very common on a lot of old cars, no matter where they come from. Mud and grime, road grime gets kicked up in that area, and they get a little bit of corrosion in there. I'm guessing at some point when they repainted the car, they probably did a little repair on both sides there on the inner drop downs. I have photos of that stuff in my additional informations tab on the website, so you can see that, but really, really minimal. As you can also see, the underneath and the suspension, like we talked about, along with the steering parts, all that stuff checks out good, and it shows newer on most of those components. Overall, it's a great Mustang convertible. We're diving into convertible season here. You'll start seeing a lot more convertibles come through my shop. The only thing that I would want to do to this is add the aftermarket vintage AC, since it is a non-AC car. I'd go with the vintage AC setup. They make a direct kit for these Mustangs. That would take the car to the next level. And right now, it's just a great car to hop in and drive, put the top down, go cruising with the family. And it's just a really well ironed out car mechanically, and just a lot of fun to drive. So not a whole lot of complaints from me here on this one. If you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. As always, I appreciate y'all watching another one of my virtual descriptions. Check out the test drive video along with the additional informations tab. Both are posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. And I'll see you guys on the next virtual description. Thanks again for watching.